Character design is one of, if not the most important aspects of anime, and today we're going to be talking about an anime in specific that has not only, one of the best, but also one of the most unique takes on this. Bungo Stray Dogs is a series that features a diverse cast of characters, each with their own unique ability. These abilities are not only central to the plot of the series, but they also serve as a reflection of the characters' personalities and inner struggles. In this video, we will be looking at how these abilities are linked to the real-life authors and their works, and how they reflect on the characters' personalities in the show. From Atsushi's struggle to find his place in the world to Dazai's suicidal tendencies, the abilities of the characters in Bungo Stray Dogs offer a unique and compelling commentary on the human experience. So sit back, relax, and let's explore the brilliance of Bungo Stray Dogs' character designs. Atsushi Nakajima has the ability called the Beast Beneath the Moonlight, which allows him to turn into a white tiger. Atsushi's ability reflects his own feelings of isolation and alienation. Atsushi, who was orphaned at a young age, has always felt like an outsider and has struggled to find a sense of belonging. His ability to turn into a white tiger can be seen as a metaphor for his longing to be part of a pack or a family. Additionally, the white tiger is a symbol of strength and power, reflecting Atsushi's own growth and development throughout the series as he learns to harness his ability and become a powerful member of the Armed Detective Agency. Now, this ability is based on the story The Moon Over the Mountain, also known as Tiger Poet, by his namesake Atsushi Nakajima. Nakajima is most well known for his self-introspective themes and unique style of storytelling. The Moon Over the Mountain is about a man who dreamed of becoming a poet but went insane, causing him to turn into a tiger. The man claimed that it was his own cowardly pride and arrogant shame that caused him to transform into the tiger, and it was this theme of internal conflict that was used on Atsushi's character in the show. Osamu Dazai possesses the ability No Longer Human, which allows him to nullify any ability he comes into contact with. This ability reflects Dazai's own inner turmoil and struggle with suicidal thoughts. Throughout the series, Dazai has been shown to be a deeply troubled individual who has attempted suicide multiple times. His ability to nullify others' abilities can be seen as a metaphor for his own desire to nullify his own existence and escape his pain. This ability is based on his namesake's most famous works, considered his masterpiece, which is actually the second best-selling novel ever in Japan, the novel being, of course, No Longer Human. The novel is a reflection of real-life Dazai's own life and his own inner struggles, and the character of Osamu Dazai in the anime series reflects that as well. The novel is a story of self-destructive tendencies, the search for meaning in life, and the struggle to find one's place in the world. Ryunosuke Akutagawa has the ability Rashomon, where he can transform his coat, though not limited to only this, into a dark shadow monster that can consume and slice through nearly anything. Akutagawa's ability reflects his own feelings of anger, hatred, and resentment. Akutagawa himself grew up in a harsh and violent environment in the slums of Yokohama, and his ability symbolizes his own feelings of monstrosity and his belief that he is kind of a monster himself. Akutagawa's ability also reflects his desire for power and control to be noticed, as he is able to use his ability to intimidate and overpower others. Now, Akutagawa's ability is based on the real-life author Ryunosuke Akutagawa, who wrote stories that dealt with psychological issues, human nature, and the darker side of society. His most famous work, Rashomon, is a story about a man who is struggling with the temptation to steal in order to avoid starvation. Interestingly, the relationship between Dazai and Akutagawa in the anime is actually a reversal of the relationship the pair had in real life. Dazai was a huge admirer of Akutagawa and idolized the man and his work. Akutagawa took his life at the age of 35, which not only shook Dazai but also inspired his own fascination with suicide. Doppo Kunikida possesses the ability The Matchless Poet, allowing him to materialize words to his advantage. Objects written within his notebook are summoned into existence, however the objects cannot be larger than the notebook itself. This ability reflects his personality in several ways. First, Kunikida is portrayed as a serious and orderly individual. His ability to manipulate words into existence symbolizes his desire to maintain control and order in correlation with his own ideals. Kunokida's ability also reflects his intelligence and his ability to think strategically. So Kunokida's ability is based on the real-life author Doppo Kunokida, who wrote about the importance of language and communication. The Matchless Poet ability isn't a direct reference to any of his works in specific, but more to his own naturalist writing that heavily dotes on the accurate depiction of detail. Interestingly, the anime Kunokida's side job that was teaching algebra twice a week at the Shin Tsuruya Institute is also a nod to how the real-life Kunokida also taught mathematics as well as English and history at the same Shin Tsuruya Institute. Chuya Nakahara possesses the ability Upon the Tainted Sorrow, which is the manipulation of gravity, allowing him to alter the gravity of anything he touches, as well as manipulate and make gravitons. This ability doesn't really reflect Chuya's personality as much as it does for the other characters, but its tie-ins to his namesake's works are definitely just as impressive when it comes to his character and abilities designs. So the poem that his ability is named after is of the same name, Upon the Tainted Sorrow. This is a poem that puts emphasis on the feeling of hopelessness as well as the fleeting nature of life. Now, corruption is the true form of Chuya's ability. This ability is extremely dangerous as it allows Chuya to manipulate the gravitons in his surroundings. He can also increase his own density to gain inhumane strength. Not only that, but he is capable of shooting compressed gravity balls that are essentially mini black holes. Now, what makes the ability very dangerous is the fact that Chuya has zero control over this ability's true form, meaning that he will continue in this state until he dies, or if the ability is nullified. This is of course where Dazai's no longer human comes into play. Now, I mention this because there is a chant that is required to activate corruption, and that chant is actually a stanza from the poem written by the real-life Chuya Nakahara called Sheep Song. In case you wanted to know, the chant was this: "To thee the granting of a gloomy corruption, may ye never waken again." Just sounds really cool. Yasano Akiko has the ability Thou Shall Not Die, which allows her to heal the external wounds of others, but only as long as they are fatal wounds. Because of this, she cannot heal minor wounds unless she fatally injures that person first, which is of course made for some very, very comical scenes within the show. Yasano is based on one of the most influential female poets in Japanese history, that being Akiko Yasano. She is famous for her poems that express feminine sensuality. Oi oi. In the anime, Yasano is a very strong woman who believes in the equal rights between men and women, which mirrors how strong a woman the real-life Yasano Akiko was. Her ability is a reference to the poem Thou Shall Not Die, which was written by Yasano addressed to her younger brother who had been sent to fight in World War II. It was telling him not to die, not to throw his own life away for a country that was more than happy to sacrifice its people. We know Yasano was extremely anti-war, and Yasano from the anime reflects this also, in that she holds the value of human life in very high regards and that she is opposed to the idea of meaningless deaths and killings. Ronpo Edogawa possesses the ability to see through any mystery and deduce the truth of any crime. This ability is based on the real-life author Edogawa Rampo, who wrote detective fiction stories and is regarded as the greatest Japanese author in mystery fiction. In the anime, Rompo's ability reflects his own intelligence and his ability to think critically, as well as his passion for solving puzzles and his love for detective fiction. This is an ability that isn't actually an ability, but just the case that Ronpo is an extraordinary human being whose own natural intelligence transcends that of normal society. He of course denied the fact that he wasn't an ability user at first, but later came to accept the fact. Albeit he still plays it off as an ability that he self-dubbed Super Deduction. Ronpo's father is never named in the series, however his job as a detective as well as the cases he had solved were famous all around, do suggest that he was inspired by Kogoro Akechi, who was the detective that the real-life Ronpo often focused his detective fiction around. They were just a few of mine and fan favorite characters that we have covered today, but they are a clear nod to just how clever and unique the characters of Bungo Stray Dogs and their abilities have been created, based off of, and how they reflect their personalities. The abilities of the characters in Bungo Stray Dogs serve as a reflection of their personalities and inner struggles. These abilities are not just plot devices, but also serve as powerful symbols that help to deepen our understanding of not only the characters, but their motivations too. Through the use of unique and symbolic abilities, the series is able to explore complex themes and ideas in a visually striking and memorable way. So that's it for today's video. Whose character design did you like the most from the show, and what other series have really well designed characters? I would love to know. As always, hit the like button to help me out with that YouTube algorithm, and smash the subscribe button for more content just like this. And while you wait for the next video to drop, why not check out this video where I talk about how Bungo Stray Dogs deals with mental health, particularly in Dazai's case of his depression. But that is it from me. I'll see you very soon. Take care of yourselves till then. Peace.